Guys, good morning po. Guys, good morning. Good morning. Miss Silvestre, Miss Piñon, Miss Rivera, Miss Reyes, Mr. Sosa, Miss Regala po, Mr. Verano. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Binibini at Ginoo. Wala pa namang ginang siguro dito, no? Okay. Next time, I want you to log in on time. Next time, pagka late po, hindi ko na po i-admit. Doon na lang kayo manonood sa replay via YouTube po. Maliwanag? Maliwanag po. Mr. Pineda, attendance. Ms. Silvestre, make sure that all of you will be logged in at exactly or before 9 o'clock in your schedule. Maliwanag? Okay. Last time, I have discussed to you the container guarantee. So, I'm sure you know already what is all about container guarantee. Okay, a container guarantee is executed and issued by the importer in favor of the shipping line. And the container guarantee is an assurance that after use of the loaded container and the same loaded container has been stripped of its content, the empty shall be returned, or the empty container shall be returned within the 72 hours period or 3 days period from time of withdrawal, from time and date of withdrawal, okay, from the BOC, okay, it shall be returned. Otherwise, the failure of the importer to return it within the said period, okay, the importer shall be charged with a detention charges. Now, let me give you an eye view of what is all about the procedure regarding clearing of either LCL or FCL. Plus, look at the board. I immediately started with the customs broker, under the presumption that the customs broker is representing an importer. Klaro, Mr. Pineda? Klaro po. Ms. Silvestre, klaro. So, this is the customs broker. And this customs broker is representing the importer or the consignee. And the first step that is to be performed by the customs broker is the so-called documentation. Okay, the preparation of course, the bill of lading, commercial invoice, packing list, and of course, the lodgement of the SAD or goods declaration with the value-added service provider. Okay, so lodgement po, value-added service provider. Now, ito po, puro internet po ito. However, with respect to procedure regarding securing of a delivery order or release order from the shipping line, it is manual. The customs broker, through its representative, has to proceed with the shipping line. That's the first step po. Shipping line, and submits, of course, the shipping documents. And the most important document is the bill of lading. Surrender mo po sa common carrier yung bill of lading para po mabigyan ka ng delivery order. However, before a delivery order may be or shall be issued to the customs broker, Okay? The shipping line will be asking another document, and that is called container guarantee po. So, marunong na kayong gumawa ng container guarantee, kasama po sa isasubmit ng broker sa shipping line ang original bill of lading plus container guarantee plus, of course, payment of the required container deposit po. Yan. Now, another payment to be made by the customs broker are other incidental or destination charges. Kaya po sinama ko. Now, if this 4 has been completed by a customs broker, then the shipping line now issues the so-called container release order, CRO po. Do you see the CRO at the board? Nakikita po ba? Aside from the container release order, the shipping line also issues or will issue the delivery order in exchange of the bill of lading or the original bill of lading. Okay? So, tapos na po tayo. Now, after the customs broker has finished or completed the shipping line requirements regarding securing of the CRO and the delivery order, the customs broker now proceeds to the BOC. Okay, processing of SAD, plus, of course, payment of CUD, VAT, and other charges po. Okay? And normally, the payment of this CUD and VAT and other charges is not manual. It is through a bank. Bank, importer to bank, then bank to the BOC account. Okay? Now, after the customs broker has completed the requirements of the BOC, third procedure po is proceed now with the arrastre operator, arrastre contractor. We're talking here of FCL ha. Pagka LCL po, halos parehas din po ang procedure. Okay, ang pagkakaiba lang po, pagka po LCL, instead na arrastre operator or arrastre contractor, ito po, public banded warehouse po ang kausap. Now, what's the purpose of proceeding now to the arrastre operator and arrastre contractor? Of course, payment of the corresponding warpage due, arrastre charges, storage charges, if there is any. So ito po ang minsan wala, minsan meron. Depende po. Okay? Kung kailan po dumating at kailan po na i-withdraw. Okay? Now, after payment of the warpage due and arrastre and storage charges, the arrastre operator now issues, okay, 2 documents. One is EIR. What is EIR, Ms. Silvestre? Ms. Silvestre? Equipment Interchange Receipt po. What is EIR? It is a document which allows the customs broker now to withdraw an FCL shipment from the Bureau of Customs and from the arrastre operator. So, bago ka ma-issue ng EIR, bayaran mo muna itong mga ito. After EIR, another document shall be issued by the arrastre operator or contractor. It is GP, gate pass po, para po pagdating ng gate, makakalabas po yung truck at may dala na po siyang container. So therefore, ito na po siya, no? Okay? Ito na po yung container, okay? Tapos, ito na po yung trailer, ito na po yung tractor head na magdi-deliver po. Maliwanag po, guys? Ito po yung FCL, ito po yung chassis, ito po yung tractor head. Kanino po ito? Okay, yung truck po, of course, it belongs to the trucking company. Ito pong container, sa shipping line po. Yung laman po, sa consignee po or sa importer po. Maliwanag po, guys? Clear, guys? So, after EIR, GP or gate pass has been issued. Okay, tanungin ko muna kayo. What is the most important thing or information contained in the EIR and GP? Of course, the container number po. Kasi po yung EIR na ito, nakalagay po ang number dito. So therefore, what is written or indicated in the EIR and gate pass is only the container that may be withdrawn by the trucking company. Okay? So, tandaan ninyo, kung ano yung nakalagay sa EIR, yun lang po ang pwedeng i-withdraw ng tracker. Kung ano yung nakalagay sa GP, yun lang din po ang pwedeng i-withdraw. Now, if this is the Bureau of Customs, hanggang dito po, area ng BOC, and arrastre operator premises, before a truck may be allowed access inside the Bureau of Customs zone and the arrastre operator's area of operation. The trucker, pupunta doon, wala siyang laman. Tama po ba? Kasi yung container po, nasa loob pa. Okay? Before a trucker may be allowed access or entry inside the Bureau of Customs zone, PPA zone, or arrastre operator area, the trucker has to secure the so-called tabs. Yan. Oh, yung mga 3A, hindi ko na ituro ito. But I have lectured, I am now lecturing it to 3B. So, 3A, panood po yung second lecture ko para po ma-reconcile. What is tabs? Ito po yung tabs. It is issued by arrastre operator, allowing the trucker to access or to enter the customs zone. Without tabs, the trucker cannot enter the zone or the port PPA zone or BOC zone. What does tabs stand for, or what does tabs stand for? Terminal Appointment Booking System po. Ulitin ko po. Tabs stands for Terminal Appointment Booking System. Meaning, a trucker wishing to pull out a loaded container from the zone, from the BOC zone, has to secure first the so-called tabs. Without tabs, the trucker will not be allowed entry inside the BOC zone. So, pagpasok po ng truck, wala po siyang laman. Pagpunta po sa arrastre operator, sa may container yard po, sa CY po, then, saka po lalagyan ng loaded container itong truck niya po. After that, of course, alam niya naman siguro, delivery to the warehouse of the consignee po. Okay? Now, sabi ko nga po sa inyo, kailangan po ma-comply ito before an FCL shipment may be withdrawn and released from the BOC. Now, paglabas po nito, ito po, ang tawag po dyan is loaded. Pagdating po dito, loaded pa rin siya. However, after stripping off the contents of the loaded container, okay, ang mangyayari po sa kanya, it becomes what? Easy. Empty container po. Klaro po? Now, the empty container, under the container or pursuant to the container guarantee, is to be returned to the container yard or container depot of the shipping line. Maliwanag po. So, pag naisoli na po yan, the shipping line issues now another EIR acknowledging the return and receipt of the empty container po. So, naibalik mo na. And in the EIR, or before EIR may be or shall be issued by the shipping line, the empty container shall be surveyed and examined and inspected by the shipping line representative. Okay? In the container depot or container yard of the shipping line. So, bago siya mag-issue ng EIR, ito po yung EIR dito po, withdrawal po ito. Ang mag-i-issue po is arrastre operator. Pagdating po sa pagsoli ng empty, ang mag-i-issue na po niyan, it's the shipping line. Okay? And prior EIR is issued by shipping line, the representative of the shipping line shall be making an inspection and survey of the empty container. Nung inilabas mo po yung container, loaded container, ang EIR po will prove that the loaded container is in good order and condition. Walang sira, walang damage, at malinis po. Now, upon return of the empty container to the shipping line, the same shall be also inspected and shall be also certified through EIR. So, ang gagawin mo, kung ikaw ang shipping line representative, check if the EC is also in good order condition po. Okay? Yan po yun. Now, there are three concerns of the shipping line representative before he or she issues an EIR. One, okay? Cleaning. Malinis po ba yung empty container? Inilabas mo, malinis, walang dumi yung container, then, Ms. Silvestre, if you're the trucker, you have to return it also clean. Maliwanag po? Okay. Another concern of the shipping line regarding this empty container is damage po. Baka po may sira. Dahil dito po, ang presumption, no damage. Pagdating po sa empty container, it has to be checked also by the shipping line representative whether the empty container is with damage. Yan po ang concern. Okay? Now, another concern is the DP. Ano po ang DP, Mr. Pineda? Detention period po. Was the return of empty container within 72 hours or 3 days period po? Yan po ang tatlong concern. Okay, the condition, cleaning, then damage, then detention period. Okay? Maliwanag? Mr. Sosa? Miss Regala, maliwanag po ba? Miss Rivera, maliwanag po ba? Okay, very good. Assuming the container deposit is, let's say, 15K, Then upon inspection by the shipping line representative, okay, they found out that madumi at maputik po yung container. Then, definitely, it shall be washed and cleaned by the shipping line. Assuming the cleaning and washing expenses, let's say, is 1,000, ibabawas po yan dito sa 15K. Kaya po ang iriripan na lang sa'yo, Mr. Pineda and Silvestre, Miss Pinyon, ibabawas po yung 1K for cleaning and washing expenses incurred by the shipping line. So, ibabalik sa'yo, 14K na lang po. Maliwanag po? Guys, maliwanag po? So, dun po, magugulat na lang po kayo, bakit nabawasan to? Kasi po, yung EIR nyo po, nakalagay po, marumi ang container. Kaya po nilinis ng shipping line, kaya lang po may gastos, then the shipping line will now deduct the 1K from the 15K deposit or container deposit. Assuming malinis naman po, malinis, so wala pong kailangang washing or cleaning. However, meron pong butas or UP yung container. Meaning, there is what? Slight damage. So, ayusin po ng shipping line yung damage po. Assuming the slight damage of the container, to repair it, gagastos po sila ng 3K or 3,000 po. Okay naman dito, wala neto. Pero may damage po. Again, the cost of repairing of the damaged container shall now be charged again the deposit. So, wala nga pong cleaning, kaya lang po. May damage. So, pag nag-refund po si importer, ang ibabalik na lang po sa kanya is 13 or 12,000 pesos. Clear, guys? Clear po? Miss Silvestre, maliwanag? Miss Rivera, maliwanag? Miss Pinyon, maliwanag? Miss Pinyon. What's happening? Intindihin mo muna ako bago yung iba. Ako ang intindihin mo dahil to actual ang itinuturo ko sa inyo. Okay. Assuming wala naman pong damage. So wala ito. However, time and date the empty container was received is beyond the 72 hours or 3 days. Magkakaroon po ng, Mr. Pineda? Ang tawag dyan, magkakaroon siya ng detention. Assuming 1 day po ang sumobra. So, meron po siyang babayarang 1 day detention charges. Assuming, okay, wala naman pong cleaning and washing, maayos naman po yung container. Wala naman po sira. However, there is detention. Assuming 500 pesos ang detention charges per day. Isang araw po ang na-incur, sumobra po ng 72 hours. Let's say, naisoli on the 80th hour, meron pong sobrang 1 or 8 oras. And that fraction of 8 hours or the fraction of 1 day, such as in that situation 8 hours, shall be considered as 1 day. Maliwanag po? So, kung ang detention charges po per day is 500 pesos, ibabawas po doon sa container deposit. Klaro, guys? Okay, very good. Okay. Now, after an empty container has been returned, assuming it has been returned within 72 hours, without damage, without necessary or without cleaning it. In other words, it's very clean and wash container or empty container. So wala po dapat ibawas doon sa 15K. Now, since naisoli mo na, na-issuean ka na ng EIR, then time now for the importer to prepare the letter. And what letter I am referring to, guys, is the request for refund of a container deposit po. So kung 15,000 po, wala naman pong nangyari, wala pong cleaning or washing, wala pong damage, wala pong detention. So therefore, the shipping line shall be obliged to return the 15K. No, yan po ang mangyayari. Now, question. Can a broker orally ask the shipping line to refund? He cannot or she cannot. It must be in writing. Klaro, guys? Klaro? Okay. Now, let us now move on to the definition of a container deposit. Okay? A container deposit is a refundable amount paid by importers, consignees, in favor or to the shipping lines for taking out what? Loaded container. Loaded FCL, loaded TEU, or FEU. O baka mamaya, hindi nyo pa kabisado. TEU, 20 equivalent unit, meaning it is a 20-footer. If it is FEU, okay, it is 40 equivalent unit. The longer the size, then the higher the deposit. The farther the delivery, then the higher the deposit. So yun po ang rule. Those are the two rules that is observed by shipping line regarding container deposit. One, the size of the container and the place where the loaded container shall be delivered. Maliwanag, Ms. Silvestre? Very good. So, yun po ang rule ng shipping line. Now, a refund of container deposit cannot be made verbally or orally. It must be made always in writing po. Hindi po pwedeng salita-salita lang po. Okay, Miss Regala, si Pinyon ang gusto kong makausap. Okay? So, a container deposit is a refundable amount, meaning it will be paid however it can be refunded. Maliwanag? Mr. Pineda, ito last time ko na lang sasabihin sa inyo, pag sinabi kong 9 o'clock, dapat nakalag-in na kayo, ha? After 9 o'clock, hindi na ako mag-a-admit kasi nadidistract po ako. I'm sure you understand me. I don't want to be distracted. O, yan ha, yan ang rule ko sa inyo. 9 o'clock, wala pang, hindi na ka nakalag-in, doon ka sa YouTube makikinig. And you will be marked absent. Klaro, Mr. Pineda? No friends, no associate, okay, no corruption regarding attendance. Klaro yan, ha? Now, when you prepare, who shall prepare now the request? Of course, not the customs broker, but it is the customs broker who will be bringing the letter to the shipping line. Ibig sabihin po, ang gagawa po ng letter request, it's not the customs broker, but the importer. At sino po magdadala ng request papunta ng shipping line? It's the customs broker po. Maliwanag po? Now, Miss Pinyon? Okay, go. Yes. Letter, please. Oh, ano? Ayoko dyan. Ayoko namang naghahanap pa. Sa susunod, ayoko na naghahanap pa. Miss Season, ikaw. What is the container or request for container deposit, Miss Season? What does it contain? It is a formal letter. Nandun po sa susunod na page. Huwag nyo kong paiikutan. Hindi na naman kayo nagbasa. Miss Silvestre, ikaw na nga. Painitin yung ulo ko, ha? Sige. Okay, ibig sabihin po dyan, it's providing or proving the following. Ibig sabihin po dyan, in your or in the importer's letter request, these are to be established. One, okay, actual delivery, meaning when is or when was the empty container returned to the container depot or container yard of the shipping line. Tama po ba? Yan po. Actual delivery of the empty container to the container yard or container depot of the shipping line. Kasi po, kailangan ibalik mo. And the return shall be acknowledged by the shipping line. The return of the EC shall be acknowledged by the shipping line through an EIR po. Nakalagay po doon sa EIR yung container number ng empty at nakalagay po time and date. And of course, the condition of the container regarding is there a need to clean or wash it? Is there a need to repair it? Is there a need to charge detention charges? Klaro, Ms. Silvestre? Number 2. Siguro naman, alam niyo naman kung sino ang mag-i-inspect noon. Of course, the shipping line representative. What is the purpose? Of course, 1, 2. Yun po ang purpose. Number 3. Meaning, after inspection and the shipping line representative found it, all are in order. Meaning, the container or the empty container has been returned without the need of washing it, without the need of preparing it, and the empty container has been returned within the 72 hours or 3 days. It shall be reflected now in the EIR to be issued by the shipping line representative. Letter D po, yun din po yan. Miss Pinyon, again, you. Nakakatatlo ka na, ha? Yes, go ahead. Alam ko po yan. Tapos na po tayo. Doon na po tayo susunod. Sample po. May I hear your importer's letterhead, Ms. Pinyon? Mr. Pineda, nagtatanong po siya sa akin. Pakisagot mo nga yung tanong ni Ms. Pinyon. No, wag mo sigawan, nagmumukhang tanga yung tao. Wag mo sigawan. Ay, hindi, parang sinisigawan mo. Wag mo sigawan, nagmumukhang tanga. Okay, go. Ano daw? Ano daw? PNN, Trading Corporation. Kahapon may naglagay sa akin doon, ABC Incorporation. Mali po, ABC Incorporated po. Okay? ABC Corporation. Yun na lang po. Huwag niyo pong gagamitin yung ABC Incorporation. Pangit pakinggan. Either ABC Corporation or ABC Incorporated. Maliwanag, Ms. Season? Okay. Your letterhead again, Ms. Pinyon. PNN Trading Corporation. PNN Trading Incorporated. Bakit po hindi po siya specific? So, tatandaan ninyo, your letterhead, importer's letterhead should be general. Okay? Kasi po, mas maganda po ang general because kahit na ano pong commodity, mag-a-apply po sa inyo. Did you get it, Ms. Pinyon? Kasi po, kung ang letterhead mo, okay, gives an impression that you are importer of automobile, tapos po, meron kang letter na ang laman ng commodity mo is tela, parang hindi po yata related, Ms. Pinyon, right? Kaya po, pagka sinabi yung trading or import and export corporation, at least po, kahit na po ano yung in-import, related po sa pangalan ng importer. Right, Mr. Pineda? Okay, class. Huwag kayong mainis sa akin. Huwag kayong mainis sa akin kasi unang-una, itinuturo ko yung magiging papel ninyo in the near future as customs broker. Okay, next. Go, Miss Pinyon. Miss Pinyon, Miss Pinyon, Miss Hugot, can you describe to us your logo, please? Ple- Oh, baka naman yung logo mo, kainin lang yung kalahati ng papel. Meron akong kilala, ha? Yung logo at saka yung address at saka yung pangalan ng company. Kinain yung kalahati. Or minsan, mas malaki pa yung logo doon sa taong gumawa ng logo. Okay? Hindi. Tingnan ninyo, ha? Huwag kayong maglalagay ng logo na isang page pa lang, logo na kagad. Di ba, Miss Sylvester, sa Guano, ano ba? Grabe naman to. Isang page pa lang, logo na. Okay? Next, please. Alam ko na po yun, alam ko na po yun, alam ko na po yun, alam ko na po yun. Sigurado pong may maglalagay niyan. Tama po, Mr. Pineda? Again, yung pong nasa ilalim na information, pwede pong sa ilalim at pwede pong after the name of the importer. Right, Miss Silvestre? Miss Reyes, may I hear your importer's letterhead, please? VIP? Okay, very good, very good. Miss Season, are you there? Pakiulit mo nga, Reyes, yung pangalan ng importer's letterhead mo. Question, Miss Season, does it sound an importer? At, ay, sabi niya, Miss Reyes, hindi, mali yung gawa mo. Sabi niya, naririnig ko. Tumatawa pa. Huwag kang tatawa, Miss Hindi, teka muna. Tinatanong ko lang sa'yo, does it sound an importer? Ba, okay, biglang bumawi. Natakot. Mr. Pineda, does it sound an importer? Oh, pangit daw ang gawa mo, Miss Reyes. Mali ang gawa mo. Miss Silvestre, does it sound? Ano, no? Wag ka. Pwede na. Hindi po pwede. Kasi po, anong pangalan ulit, Miss Reyes? Oh, it does not sound an importer. It sounds like a freight forwarder or a logistics provider. Change it, Miss Reyes. Mali po. Kaya, do not complicate things. Pwede naman sabihin na, okay, JRP, okay, Import and Export Incorporated. JRP, Import Trading Corporation. Ang dami pong pangalan na pwedeng, it will definitely sounds an importer. Maliwanag? Mali, Miss Reyes, ha? Palitan mo. Para kang freight forwarder. Maliwanag po? Miss Pinyon, go ahead. Days. Dali muna, teka muna. Wag kang magmamadali. Diyos ko naman kung nakatayo ka sa akin, siguradong ikaw ang magle-lecture neto sa akin. Kung naka-face to face tayo. Date! Wag niyong ilalagay yung word na date, ha? Pag may nakita ko dun, date, ay nako, automatic 70. Don't indicate the word date. Indicate only the date and the actual date that you have prepared the letter. Right? Mr. Pineda? Name, Pinyon, next. Give me one shipping line, Miss Pinyon. Meron po akong alam, Evergreen, MCC Transport, Maersk Line, One High, marami po yan. Punta po kayo. Yung mga nakikita nyong container, nakalagay po doon. Nakakita ka na ba ng container? Have you ever seen a container before, Miss Pinyon? Ay, nakakita ka na pala, buti ka pa. Okay. So, nakalagay po dun sa container kung ano po ang pangalan ng shipping line. Maliwanag, Miss Pinyon? Okay, name of shipping line. Sir, sino po ang magbibigay nito? Ako po, in the problem po. Next, please. Address, I will be also giving it. Okay? I will also provide it that address of the shipping line in the problem. Subject, colon. Yes, go ahead. Okay. So, tanggalin nyo po yung error dito, may typographical. Wala pong close parenthesis dyan, ha? Then, after that, request for container deposit refund, the container number po. Maliwanag, Mr. Pineda? Kasi po, kung ano po yung loaded container, nakalagay po dun yung container number sa EIR. Pag soli po, nakalagay naman po yung container number ng empty container po. Maliwanag po, Miss Pinyon? Pag marami po, ano lalagay mo? Okay, container numbers. Kung dalawa, then magiging plural form po siya. Okay? Next, please. Bakit po? Para saan po yung acknowledgement receipt number? Miss Silvestre. What does an acknowledgement receipt number prove? What does it prove? Okay, ito po, the container deposit. In other words, class, acknowledgement receipt number proves that the importer has paid the container deposit. Okay? Miss Silvestre, Mr. Pineda, why acknowledgement receipt and not official receipt? Andiyan ba si Mr. Relebo, Mr. Pineda? Mr. Relebo, you. Sumasagot. Why AR, why AR and not OR? O bakit nga ba? Yes, Mr. Relebo, I'm hearing you. Why acknowledgement receipt and why not OR? Ha? Tax. Hindi po, hindi po. My question is, why not, di ba, Mr. Relebo, nakapag-shopping ka na rin naman, nakapunta ka na rin naman sa mga SM, tama ba? Mr. Relebo, pag may binili ka doon, ano ibibigay sa'yo? Pagbayad mo? Hindi yan, tinatanong ko, pag may binili ka, nagbayad ka, i-issuean ka. Ano po i-issue sa'yo? Bakit hindi AR? Ay, Relebo, makinig ka mamaya-maya, malalaman mo kung bakit. Mr. Pineda, why AR, not OR? Miss Silvestre. Hindi nyo makuha yung point, no? Okay, listen to me, no? If a container deposit has been paid by the importer in favor of the shipping line, AR shall be issued by the shipping line. And that 15K shall be held in trust. Ibig sabihin po nun, pag nagbayad ng deposit, it does not mean that the 15K deposit already belongs to the shipping line. Hindi po. Hawak niya lang po yun. Kaya po ang definition ng container deposit, it is what? A refundable amount. Meaning, that 15K paid by the importer to the shipping line will only be held in trust. Hahawakan lang po. Para lang po doon sa purpose na yon. So therefore, since the 15K is not owned by the shipping line, okay, it is only proper that it should be acknowledged by them. And it has to be acknowledged through the issuance of AR. Mr. Relebo, nandiyan ka ba? Ba? Pag bumili ka sa department store, binayad mo yung pera po doon sa department store na. Yung binili mo, sa iyo na po. Kaya po, ang ini-issue po, hindi po AR, instead official receipt. Did you get it, Mr. Pineda, Mr. Relebo, Ms. Silvestre? So, tandaan ninyo, yan po ang purpose. That's why, whenever an importer is requesting a deposit refund, that importer must attach not only the EIR regarding return, but also the copy of acknowledgement receipt. Maliwanag po. Kaya po, yan, nakakabit po yan. Doon sa request po. Maliwanag po. Maliwanag po. Mr. Relebo, naintindihan mo na. Sasabihin mo pa, hindi official, may patax-tax ka pa dyan. Alayan ang sagot mo. Pinagbubulan ninyo ako, ha? Kala ninyo siguro, eh. Ikaw, Miss Season, naintindihan mo? Miss Reyes, Miss Regala, Rivera? Talagang kayo, swerte ninyo, hindi tayo naka-face to face. Dako, kundi sabon kayo sa akin. Miss Pinyon, continue, please. Okay, import department, doon po nyo i-attention. Now, if you know the person to whom you are going to submit the letter, don't use the import department. Use the name of the person to whom you are sending the letter plus his position or her position. Klaro, Mr. Pineda? Miss Pinyon, klaro? Okay, opening salutation. Miss Pinyon, ikaw. Okay. At sandali lang po. Paliliwanag ko kung bakit gentlemen, no? Although not all of them are gentlemen. Kaya po ginagamitan nyo ng gentleman kasi your attention is not specific. Right, Miss Pinyon? But if it is specific, let's say, Miss Camille Joy Pinyon, okay? Tapos sa ilalim, shipping line manager. Ang magiging opening salutation niyo is Dear Miss Pinyon. Klaro, Miss Pinyon? Next. Yung amount po, kung magkano po ang deposit na binayaran ng importer. Right, Ms. Silvestre? Okay. In the first paragraph, the importer is asking and requesting for the refund. But in the second paragraph, the importer is now proving and submitting evidence that the empty container has been returned in good order and condition and within 72 hours, Ms. Silvestre. Intindihan? Okay, nakita mo yung second paragraph, Ms. Pinyon? Okay, pakibasa nga, Ms. Pinyon. Tama pa yung sinabi ko, Mr. Pineda. Una, request. Pagkatapos, prove mo na naisoli mo na. Tama, Mr. Pineda? Third paragraph is when the request is approved. Ito naman po yung inire-request ng importer. Pakibasa, Ms. Pinyon. Your name po, kung sino po yun, nakalagay po dito, idudugtong nyo. Please make the payment or check or issue a check to our customs broker, comma, then the name of the customs broker po ilalagay nyo. So, importer po, nagre-request sa shipping line, kung ma-aprobahan po itong deposit refund namin, then make the payment or make a check, okay, to the customs broker. Name of the customs broker. Iba po ang pangalan dyan. Okay, next please. Okay, now, in case there would be approval of the refund, please make the payment or check to the customs broker. Now, it is not the customs broker who will be applying for the refund. Someone would be representative or representing the customs broker. And that is the customs representative. So, ibig sabihin yan, yung customs broker po nasa office, ang lalabas po para kunin yung refund, it's not the customs broker but the customs representative. And therefore, this letter will also authorize the shipping line to release the payment or the check to the representative of the customs broker. Klaro? Klaro. Very good. Now, last paragraph. Your favorable action and attention on this matter will be gratefully appreciated. Be careful with gratefully. Merong gumagamit G-R-E-A-T-E. Mali po yun. It should be G-R-A-T-E. Maliwanag, Mr. Pineda? After that last paragraph, Ms. Pinion, what's next? Ang dami naman pong posisyon mo, Miss Pinion. Isa lang po, ha? Okay, very good. Very truly yours. Sigurado maraming tatama doon. Kasi marami. Ito yung pinakamagandang parte. Very truly yours, comma, Camille J. or Camille Joy Pinion, comma, CB, comma, NY, comma, JK. Ano yung title mo, Miss Pinion? Importer po ang nakapirma dito, hindi po customs broker. Kaya lang po, Camille Joy Pinion, comma, CB, comma, JK, comma, NY. Ano ibig sabihin ng JK at saka NY, Miss Silvestre? Ano? Ano daw? Yung NY. Not yet. 13. Not yet, Miss Pinion. Sabi, nagbibiro ka pa lang. Hindi pa po. Biro lang yun. Next, 13, Miss Pinion. Sandali lang po. Okay? Bago tayo pumunta sa mga yan, okay, what are the types of abandonment under the CMTA, Miss Pinion? Di mo. Oh, Mr. Pineda, pakitulungan, refresh Miss Pinion, Mr. Pineda. What are the two types? Ano po? Yes po. Ma'am, tawag ito, Miss Pinion, hindi mo matandaan o baka hindi ka nagbasa? Anong tingin mo, Mr. Pineda? Hindi niya matandaan o hindi siya nagbasa? Hindi ko magsabi, sabihin mo yung totoo sa kanya. Huwag kang tatawa. Tinatawanan mo yung tao, nandun po sa materials eh. Tama ba? Oh, hindi po. Ang tinatanong ko lang po sa inyo is, kay Miss Pinion is, what are the two types po? Pero kung titingnan niyo po yung materials, Miss Pinyon, Mr. Pineda, okay, nandun po sa material. Nakalagay po, one is express and the other one is implied abandonment. Yun po yun. There are two types. Miss Silvestre, tama po ba na nandun po sa materials? Ay, nako. Miss Pinyon, hindi mo na kailangan tandaan, magbasa ka lang po. Ang sarap mang asar, no? Ang sarap mang inis, Miss Season, no? Lalo na mga ganyan, no? Lalo na pagkatapos ng second semester, magpo-fourth year na kayo, graduating na daw kayo. Sabi, next, ano, daw, ha? Daw. Miss Pinyon, wag mong sasabihin sa akin, hindi ko na matandaan. Sabi mo, sir, pasensya ka na, hindi pa ako nakapagbasa. Iyan po ang problema mo. So, abandonment notice is a formal notification made by the BOC addressed to the importer or consignee regarding abandonment of goods or cargoes in customs custody. And this abandonment notice under my lecture or in my lecture is normally sent electronically or through the bulletin board of the Bureau of Customs. Kasi po, pagka na-abandon na po yung shipment ninyo, na-declared na po, or it was declared abandoned, hindi na po mailalabas yan unless the abandonment notice is erased or lifted po. Kaya po nakalagay dyan, tagging, red po. Kaya po pag red, hindi po makagalaw. Maliwanag, Mr. Pineda? Okay, so therefore, abandonment notice is a form of advice and information issued by the BOC addressed to a particular importer. Ms. Pinyon, do you still remember the rule regarding express and implied abandonment? Ms. Silvestre, do you still remember the rule? When is a shipment expressly abandoned and when it is impliedly abandoned? Sagot, Mr. Relevo. Ikaw ang gusto kong sumagot, Mr. Relevo. Okay, so it is express abandonment when the importer writes a letter, okay, signifying his or her intention to abandon the shipment, and that letter is addressed to the district collector of customs concerned. Did you get it, Ms. Pinyon? Ms. Silvestre, do you still remember the rule regarding express? It is express when it is made in writing, addressed to the collector, signifying the importer's intention to abandon the goods. Maliwanag po? Okay. It is implied when, Mr. Relevo. Binobola mo ako. Ms. Season, when is a shipment considered impliedly abandoned? There are so many ways to commit implied abandonment. Yes, Ms. Season, please. First, ay nako, mali na naman kagad. Mr. Pineda, you. Yes po, yes po. Number one po, failure on the part of the importer to lodge the goods declaration or SAD within the prescribed period of 15 days. Then, after 15 days po, it shall be declared by the BOC impliedly abandoned. Ha, talaga, Miss Sisa, pinagbubula mo ako, ha? Huy! Miss Silvestre, second way, implied law. Okay. Para po maganda. Having lodged the goods declaration, however, the importer failed to pay the duties and taxes within 15 days from receipt of final assessment notice. Right, Ms. Silvestre? Galing, no? Third, Mr. Relebo. Mr. Pineda, you. Yes. Mali po, mali po. Ito po yan. Third po, having lodged, having paid, but the importer failed to claim it within 30 days po. From date of receipt of notice to claim. Did you get it, Mr. Pineda? Okay, so 15, 15, 30. 15 to lodge, 15 to pay, 30 to claim. Insofar as provisional goods declaration, 45 po. 45 plus 40, 45 plus 45. Otherwise, pagkatapos po ng 45 at nagawalan ng extension, pag provisional goods declaration, walang extension yung 45 days, it shall be declared abandoned also. Or if there was an extension, after 45 days extension, hindi po nakapag-comply ang importer, then again, the shipment shall be declared impliedly abandoned. Pag sa banded warehouse po, 9 months lang po, dapat ma-claim mo. Otherwise, abandon na rin po siya, impliedly. Kung 9 months po, in-extend po ng 3 months, naging 12 months, hindi pa rin na-claim, again, it shall be declared, okay, impliedly abandoned. Right, Ms. Silvestre? Okay, that is for general cargo. What about perishable cargo? When may a perishable cargo stored in a warehouse be declared impliedly abandoned? Mr. Pineda, kailan? Pag general cargo po, nasa banded warehouse, hindi na i-claim ng 9 months or in-extend ng 3 months, 12 months, hindi pa rin na-claim, it shall be declared impliedly abandoned. What if it is perishable cargo? How many months that a perishable cargo may be stored in a banded warehouse? 3 months po. O yan, buti pa si Mr. Pineda, naalala niya. 3 months po, within 3 months, dapat po ma-claim or mailabas po sa banded warehouse. Is that 3 months absolute rule, Mr. Pineda? No, it is extendable by another 3 months po. Okay? Next. Miss Pinyon, next please. Pakibasa po. Okay, parang boyfriend din yan, Miss Pinyon. Sige, sa'yo na yan. Miss Pinyon, sabi mo gano'n, oh, may boyfriend ka. Okay? Wala ka. Inabandon mo? Or it's the other way around? Hindi siya. Pangit naman pagka ikaw ang inabandon. Tarantado yun, bubugbugin ko yun pag ikaw inabandon. So therefore, when you renounce, when the importer or owner of the property renounces or surrender his or her interest over a property, the property that I am referring to here are goods po. Okay, whether it is expressed or implied, then that constitute what? Abandonment po. Maliwanag po? Maliwanag po, Miss Pinyon? Nandyan pala, Miss Pinyon, yung dalawang type ng abandonment, no, Miss Pinyon? Pakibasa mo nga. Uy, nandyan pala, no? Hindi mo naman pala kailangan alalahanin, eh, no? Hindi mo na pala kailangan tandaan, no? Ay, ang tanga-tanga kasi nitong notes na to. Hindi nagsasalita. Dapat magsalita ka, notes. Miss Regala, next. Miss Regala. Sana tayo? Sana tayo, Miss Regala? Sana tayo? So therefore, when a shipment, oh yan, ha? When a shipment has been declared by the BOC impliedly abandoned, then there is a legal remedy for the importer to claim it kahit na po declared abandoned. And that legal remedy that I am referring to is what? A request to leave abandonment notice po. Maliwanag, Mr. Pineda? Maliwanag, Mr. Relevo? Miss Six-Footer, maliwanag po. Once the shipment has been impliedly abandoned or declared impliedly abandoned, it doesn't mean that the importer can no longer claim it. There is a remedy. And that legal remedy that I am referring to is the importer or for the importer to request the lifting. But if it is expressed, wala na pong pag-uusapan. Kasi once it is expressed, it becomes the property of the government. Maliwanag po? Baka malito kayo. Express abandonment, kayang ilip. Wala na pong notice of abandonment sa express. Kasi po express, it is already the importer who is abandoning it. Maliwanag po? If it is implied, it is the BOC that is declaring the shipment abandoned. In other words, ang express po is what kind of abandonment? Yes po, while implied is what? Involuntary po. Maliwanag, Ms. Silvestre? Pagka voluntary, hindi mo na pwedeng bawiin. Pag involuntary, pwede pang bawiin. Right, Mr. Relevo? Okay, when you write a request to leave abandonment notice, Ms. Regala, what are you going to state in the letter? The reason why. The reason why you failed the 15 days, you failed the 15 days, and you failed the 30 days. Tama, Mr. Pineda? Siyempre, nagre-request ka ng lifting ng abandonment, you have to state there what happened and what was the cause of your failure to lodge, to claim, to pay, and to claim, right, Mr. Pineda? Oh, Ms. Silvestre, what would be now your valid and justifiable reason? What are you going to use as reason for them to convince the law division that you be allowed to claim your cargo in spite of abandonment notice? What would be your reason? Ano po? Ano po? Bumagyo. Miss Pinyon, anong gagamitin mong reason, Miss Pinyon? What reason are you going to use, Miss Pinyon? Mr. Paras, nandiyan ka ba? Wala. Mr. Relevo. And what reason are you going to use, Mr. Relevo, to convince them that you are not really abandoning it? Ano yung magiging reason mo, Mr. Relevo? Miss Season, what valid reason are you going to invoke or use in order to convince them? Holiday? Grabe, grabe. Mr. Pineda, you! Yung pong pamin po, yun ang susunod po, Mr. Relevo. Grabe naman kayo. Tuklawin po kayo dyan. Nasa Mababa po yung tinatanong ko. Miss Silvestre, oh, andyan po sa baba, oh, number 14 po. What is PAMEN? Fraud, accident, mistake, or excusable negligence is the reason. Miss Silvestre, nakita mo na yung pwede mong gamitin? Nandyan lang pala eh. Nandyan lang pala eh. Hindi nagsasalita. Kinutusan ko na nga eh. Buti na lang. Oh. Ay, nako, grabe, no. Mr. Relebo, ano yung sinasabi mo, Mr. Relebo? Miss Season, ano yung sinasabi mo? May bagyo. May bagyo. Ano, walang pera? Okay, I'll explain to you what is fraud. The importer was deceived, was fooled, and was defrauded regarding the lodgement. Ibig sabihin, may nanloko sa kanya. Ito po yun. Ang sabi po nung isang tao sa importer, Mr. Importer, hindi pa dumarating yung kargamento mo. Dumating na po pala. Kaya po nag-lapse yung 15 days. Naloko po siya. Did you get it, Mr. Pineda? Accident po. The importer met an accident, preventing the importer to lodge, to pay, or to claim. Did you get it? Mistake po. By mistake or erroneous appreciation of facts. Akala niya hindi pa dumarating, 2 weeks na palang dumating yung kargamento. That is mistake po. That is a valid ground. Miss Season, what's the other valid ground? Can you give me an excusable negligence, please? Meron po, bagyo po, pandemic po, internet connection problems po. Yan po ang mga excusable negligence po. Maliwanag po? Maliwanag po, Miss Season. Ayan, kasi hindi ka nagbasa ng letter. Okay, let's now move on to Annex E, the letter itself. Pinyon, you. Walang sumasagot sa akin. I want to hear the voice of Miss Matuling. Miss Matuling, go. Parang wala akong kausap pa. Okay, go, Miss Matuling. May I hear your importance letterhead, Miss Rivera? But, Mr. Pineda, parang nanginginig yung importer at saka exporter niya. No? Kinakabahan ba yung ano niya? Ha? Nanginginig? Bakit ganon? Kung ako, hindi ako magbebenta dito sa importer niya, nanginginig. Baka pagbabayad dito, nanginginig din. Eh. Go ahead. Continue, Miss Matuling. Hindi ko na po kailangan yan. Hindi ko na po kailangan yan. Hindi. Kasi Mr. Pineda, masyado naman tayong redundant. Alam naman natin na pagkatapos ng importer's letterhead, it will be followed by the contact number, address, and email address. Right, Mr. Pineda? No need to repeat that. Kasi unang-una, alam naman natin yun eh. Paulit-ulit na lang tayo. Ano ba yan? Kaya nanginginig. Anong date na? Date na tayo? Ayoko, Miss Rivera. Wala ko. Ayoko rin. Pares tayo. The feeling is mutual, Miss Rivera. Date. Ayan po. Actual date. When you prepare the letter. It's not the commissioner. It's what? Dapat po kanino naka-address. Miss Rivera, ang nagdeklara po ng abandon ng shipment po, it's not the customs broker, it's the Bureau of Customs. Right, Mr. Pineda? Kanino mo i-address, Mr. Pineda? Hindi po, the District Collector of Customs. So, palitan nyo po yan. Instead of the Commissioner, it should be addressed to the District Collector of Customs. So, kung idiniklara po ng Clark Customs, i-address mo sa District Collector ng Clark. Maliwanag? Kung Port of Manila po, sa Port of Manila Customs or District Collector. Right? Clear, Ms. Silvestre? Okay, so therefore, the District Collector of Customs, Bureau of Customs, then District Collector, Bureau of Customs, kung sa South po, Port Area, Manila. Pagka po sa MICP, then North Harbor, Manila. Pagka po Clark, then use the address of Clark. If it is Subic, then use the address of Subic. Right, Ms. Silvestre? Ms. Reyes, do you want to say something, Ms. Reyes? Okay. Ms. Sison, you have any question? Mr. Relebo, do you have any question? Okay. Subject po. After subject, then colon. Then, what is your subject? Request to leave abandonment notice on shipment of. Nakalagay po dyan yung goods description. Kaya po yung letterhead ninyo, naka-general po, para po yung goods description will fit with the letterhead of the importer. Tama ba, Mr. Pineda? Kasi po, pagka po yung letterhead ninyo specific, let's say, Camille J. Pinion, CJP, okay, Garments and Textile Materials Incorporated. Tapos paglagay mo dito, goods description, alak po, hindi po magpipit, right? Hindi po magiging compatible. Tama, Mr. Pineda? So what's the lesson regarding importer's letterhead? It should be general po, not specific po. What I mean by specific is not. The letterhead should not mention specific products. Maliwanag po, or specific product po. Right? Mr. Relebo, naintindihan mo ko? Okay, goods description, ako po magbibigay niyan. Registry number, ako po ang magbibigay niyan. Bill of lading or airway bill number, again, I will provide that information. And ship via name of the vessel or name of the aircraft, again, I will provide you with that information in the problem. Klaro? Ba, wala sumagot sa akin ah. Okay. Another is where specifically the letter should be sent to. It's true, colon, the chief, comma, the law division po. Sila po ang mag-iimbestiga. Sila po ang tatanggap ng letter. Okay, the district has letter, and the letter shall be forwarded by the district collector to the chief law division to investigate whether the reason stated or claimed by the importer is true and correct. Yan po ang trabaho ng law division. After true, then you go with gentlemen. Ms. Silvestre, pakibasa nga yung naging reason ni importer. Kama. Baka nakalimutan yung kama. How many reasons did the importer give? Or how many reasons has been given by the importer, Ms. Silvestre? Sir Bineda, ilang reason ang binigay? Tatlo po. One is pandemic, the other one is poor internet connectivity, and the other one or the third one is the breakdown of the value-added service provider system. Tatlo po siya. Miss Season, Miss Season, Mr. Relevo, if you were the law division and I gave three reasons, would you be convinced? Mr. Relevo, Miss Silvestre, Miss Pinion, would you be convinced? Now, if you all are convinced, what would you do now? Okay, make a recommendation to the District Collector of Customs to lift now the abandonment notice. Yan po ang epekto. Now, Ms. Sison, Mr. Relevo, three reasons were given by the importer. Saan po siya papasok? Is it covered by F, A, M, or EN po? Yes po, excusable negligence po. Doon po siya papasok. Maliwanag po. Hindi po pwede siyang fraud. Hindi po rin siya pwedeng pumasok sa accident. Hindi rin po pwedeng pumasok sa mistake. Doon po siya papasok sa excusable negligence. Miss Pinyon, naintindihan? O Miss Matuling, baka ma'am niya ay gagamit ka, sisiguruhin mo lang your reasons either fall of this payment po. Maliwanag po ba? Miss Silvestre, pwede bang gamitin mo yung apat? Mr. Relevo, pwede bang gamitin mo yung apat, yung payment po, lahat gamitin mo sa isang letter? Ikaw, Miss Season, pwede bang gamitin yung payment sa isang letter as your reasons? Pwede, pero parang OA. Ikaw, Mr. Pineda, can you use for? Ang ano dyan, alam mo, pagka yung ganyan. Pag ginamit mo yung apat, ang tawag doon sa importer na yun, how would you call that importer, Mr. Relevo? Hindi, kawawang importer. Naloko na, na-aksidente pa, nagkamali pa, at meron pa siyang excusable negligence. Hindi siya OA. Kawawang nilalang. Siro mo. Now, kung ako ang law division at ginamit mo yung apat, I won't believe you. Okay? Next, please. Silvestre. Okay, in the first paragraph, you are stating the grounds. And you are stating, on the first paragraph, you are stating the grounds and you are stating that you have no intention of abandoning it, either impliedly or expressly. After stating your grounds and after stating your section 1129, your law, then comes now the second paragraph. So, in other words, naisabi mo na sa unahan, pangalawa po, then you are now requesting to lift the abandonment notice. Now, under the third paragraph, ito po yung in case of approval of the lifting, then you will now appreciate what they have done. Right, Miss Season? Pakibasa nga, Miss Silvestre, yung third paragraph. Ano, nambobola ka ba dyan? Miss Pinyon. Miss Silvestre. Parang nambobola ka, right? Okay. Pero ganyan po ang formal letter eh. Now, Miss Pinyon, Mr. Relevo, tanong po, what's next after that third paragraph? Mr. Relevo, ano susunod? Why are why? Sandali lang po, sandali lang po. Why are why not BTY? Mr. Relevo? Okay, when you are writing to a high government official, do not use very truly yours. Use respectfully. Okay? Yours. Maliwanag? When you write a letter to the president, to the vice president, to the senate president, to the house speaker, to the governor, to the mayor, you use RY instead of BTY. Klaro, Mr. Pineda? After RY, comma, then importer's name, signature, then the position. Mr. Relevo, do you have any question? By the way, Miss Silvestre, Mr. Relevo, Miss Season, Mr. Pineda, Miss Mendoza, Miss Regala, Miss Piñon, Miss Reyes, Miss Matuling, I met yesterday Mr. Remuquillo. Regards daw po sa inyong lahat. Kumusta daw po kayo? Regards regards daw po, Miss Silvestre, regards daw sa'yo. Namimiss ka na daw niya. Miss Piñon, anong tawag mo dun sa pangiiwan niya? What kind of abandonment? Implied or expressed? Implied, no? Implied, no? Both daw, sabi ni Mr. Repo. Miss Piñon, make sure that it is you who abandons, not him, right? Of course. Yung itsura mo, hindi ina-abandon yan. Miss Season. Okay! Sana all ina-abandon. Sana daw lahat may jowa. Miss Pinyon, pag naging customs broker ka, siguradong pipilahan ka ng manliligaw mo. Wag ka mag-alala. Kaya lang, bago ka maging broker, gagraduate ka muna. Bago ka gagraduate, matapos mo muna yung third year mo sa akin. Maliwanag, Miss Pinyon? Ayun. Ikaw, Miss Reyes. Okay? Pag naging broker ka, huwag ka mag-aapura, maraming manliligaw sa'yo. Okay? Ikaw naman, Mr. Relevo, huwag ka manliligaw. Pag naging broker ka, maraming liligaw din sa'yo. Maliwanag? Kailangan maging... At Miss Matuling, pag naging broker ka, sigurado, puputikan yan. Okay? Miss Season, yung kaso mo, medyo hopeless yung pagtangkad mo. Kahit maging broker ka, yan na talaga yung height mo. Okay? Okay. Okay, class. I'm done already with my budget for Module 1. Ayan ha. Natapos ko yung target date ko, Miss Silvestre. Next meeting, I will be moving on to Module 2 and meron po akong budget every week. Yan po ang pagtuturo. Kailangan po may budget ka po. Hindi pa pwedeng pawarde-warde. Now, do you have now any question? let's move on to your question. Magtanong na kayo. O baka yung mga ibang kasali dyan, sumali naman. Baka mamaya meron tanong. Tingnan ko nga yung mga kasali. Baka show everyone. Mr. Berano, do you have any question? Ay, very good, very good. Okay, Miss Manatad, do you have any question? Payabyab? Payabyab, do you have any question? Sandali lang, iniisa-isa ko muna sila. Payabyab, ano nangyari kay Mr. Payabyab? May tanong, wala? Yung microphone ninyo, paki-off ninyo, Okay, Miss Badyaw. Miss Reyes, si Badyaw, tanong mo kung may tanong. Miss Selomin, may pa vlogs ka pa dito. Anong tanong mo? Wala? Miss Sablan, Miss Painado, Napaw, Miss Napaw, Mr. Sosa, Mr. Saturday, Miss Lugal, Narciso, Miss Talavera, Mr. Relebo, what is your question? Yes, go ahead. Paki, 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 pakiulit po. Empty. Apo, apo. Okay. Of course. Kasi titika mo na, without official receipt, how much was spent in cleaning and repairing it? How can you now prove that you really spent it? Tama? Okay. Yes, go ahead. Another question, Mr. Relevo? Ay, ibabalik po. Ibabalik po. Yun na lang po. Yun. Kumbaga po, kung yung bote po, okay, na ibalik mo at wala namang ano, kasi ayoko i-compare sa bote ng soft drinks eh. Kasi pagka bote ng soft drinks, nabiyak yung uso, wala nang value, right? Okay? Ngayon, ganito po. Ako may tanong. Magkano ang deposito, Mr. Relevo? 15. Assuming 15K. Assuming the container was never returned or the empty container was never returned. So, assuming the value or the cost of the container or the empty container is 150,000. Ibabawas po yung deposito doon. Tama po ba? Magkano matitira sa kulang ng importer doon sa shipping line? Kung 150 ang cost or value ng container. If you were the shipping line, after deducting the container deposit, how can you now go after the importer for the 135,000? Yes po, use the container guarantee. Kasi po, yung container guarantee ang gagamitin ng shipping line against the importer to claim and pursue the remaining 135,000. At least, naalala nyo ang container guarantee. Ms. Tomas, do you have any question? Miss UC? Miss UC? Miss Brave, do you have any question? Miss Mendoza, what about you, Miss Rosero? Miss Baon? Okay, I don't have any question and you don't have any question, then this will wrap up my lecture for this morning. Mr. Pineda, ang non-nakalagin lang is 28 people. Mr. Pineda, 28 people po ang nakalagin po. And remember my rule again. On or before my scheduled time, student should be already logged in. Pag si Miss Season na late lang ng 1 minuto, out na kagad. Tanda mo yan, ha, Mr. Pineda, ha? Pag si Miss Pinyon, ganun din, na late din, wag mo nang tanggapin, absenan mo na kagad sa akin. Ha, Mr. Pineda? Huwag kang matatakot sa mga yan. Baka mamaya mabigyan ka lang ng hamburger o baka mamaya mabigyan ka lang yung 1 minute mawala. Ha? Naka-record po ito. Maliwanag? Pag si Miss Reyes, okay, na late din, out mo rin sa attendance mo. Right, Mr. Pineda? Wala naman ako sinasabi eh. Kung sakasakali lang. Ikaw naman, hindi ka pa nga ano, guilty na kagad. Mahirap yung ganun. Miss Sanchez, do you have any question? Yes, of course. Basta pag meron akong lecture, you have to be there before my schedule. Miss Serena, Miss Mermaid, do you have any question? Kumusta na yung mga fans mong mga Shokoy? Okay pa rin sila? Nagtatalon ka ba nung New Year's Eve? Oo ba? Wag kang magtatatalon kasi iba ang dating sa akin nun. Miss Pinyon, si Miss Pinyon, ha? Tanda mo tong si Miss Pinyon, Mr. Pineda, ha? Walang kaibigan. Tanda mo yan. Walang kaklase. Pag late, late. Malanag? Si Mr. Nano? Maaga kang? O, para lumalabas, utang na loob ko pa yung maaga mong Utang na loob ko pa yon, Miss Pinyon? Eh, parang Mr. Pineda, sinusumbat pa sa akin eh. Abi, parang ibang dating eh. Ikaw nga sir, maaga akong pumasok kanina. Ba, okay. Ngayon, ang pakialam ko. Ganun lang kasimple. Mr. Paras, si Mr. Paras ba pumasok? Mukhang wala yata, Mr. Pineda. Ano ba, nag-drop na ba si Mr. Paras? Mr. Pineda. Si Mr. Tanglao, nag-drop na rin. Dami nang nagda-drop ha. Mr. Relevo, nag-drop na sila. Si Miss Puyat Pamor, wala rin. Yung hinimatay dahil puyat, si Roma, si Miss Puyat Pamor, wala na rin, nag-drop na rin. Mr. Relevo, baka nag-ship na sila, nagpalit na sila ng uniform. Tingin mo, Mr. Relevo, nagpalit na sila, nag-apron na kaya sila o nag-ano na sila, nagkulay puti na silang uniform, no? Tingin mo kaya, nag-checkered? Ewan ko kasi hindi na sila napasok eh. Sino ba yung mga hindi napasok dito? 29 people are logged in, Mr. Pineda. Note that, please. Okay? Now, sino to? Miss Silvestre. Yes, Miss Silvestre. Yes, go ahead. Concern ba question? Regarding me or regarding others? Sige po, go ahead po. Opo. Pag, okay. Okay, meron po. May YouTube po tayo. May YouTube po tayo. ay di kung talagang nakahab sila, then exclude them in the counting of the attendance. Hindi po kasama. So yung naka-online lang dito, Mr. Pineda, ang che-checkan mo. Maliwanag? Siguro naman yung mga naka-hubs na yan, alam nila na ang presidente ng Pilipinas, si Duterte na. Tama ba, Miss Silvestre? Kasi ang alam ko ng mga naka-hubs, yung mga nasa remote and far-flung areas, right, Miss Silvestre? Okay, kayo, hindi naman pipede na sabihin nyo, Sir, wala kaming internet. Okay, tell it to the Marines, not me. Maliwanag? So, Miss Silvestre, ang consideration ko na lang sa kanila, I will not be counting their attendance. Okay? But, they have to watch the YouTube video of every lecture. Sabihan mo sila. Hindi. That's not my problem. It's their problem. Right? By the way, I have you received a copy or my link regarding my first lecture, YouTube po. Napadala ko na po sa inyo. Tama po ba? Okay. So, kung meron po kayong hindi naintindihan, you can watch it. And if you still don't understand or if you still have question, then ask me. I am always open to question. Talagang Miss Pinyon, yes. Go ahead, Miss Selmin. Do you have any question? Yes, go ahead. Okay, make sure. At sandali po, ha? Nung isang araw po, may nagtanong sa akin, tungkol naman po doon sa personal effects niya. Wala po siyang relation sa subject matter natin. Anong tanong? Surety ban. Now, if the shipping line will ask a surety ban instead of a container guarantee, it's all right. Kasi po, a container guarantee is assurance. Surety ban is also an assurance. Parehas lang po sila. But in the practice, most shipping line ask for container guarantee. Okay, but in some shipping line ask surety ban. Miss Ilumin, pagka ikaw pinag-issue ka ng container guarantee at pinag-issue ka pa rin ng surety ban, anong tawag mo doon sa shipping line na yon? Ikaw, Miss Silvestre. Hindi po, sobrang sigurista. Naintindihan nyo? Tama po, kasi biro mo, meron ka ng container guarantee, tapos magpo-post ka pa ng surety bond para doon sa pagbalik ng container, empty container. Anong tawag mo doon? Hindi po siya OA. Sobrang gulang at sobrang sigurista po. Yan po ang tawag doon. Naintindihan, Miss Silvestre? Tama na yung isa. Yung isa naman assurance na eh. Container guarantee assurance. Or, kaya ang ginagamit dyan, either container guarantee or surety bond po. Yung surety bond po, it is also an assurance that the empty container will be returned safely to the shipping line. Klaro, Mr. Pineda? Okay. So, natawag ko ba lahat? Wala bang hindi natawag? Wala bang hindi naitawag? Badyaw, may question ka pa ba? Miss Season, do you have any question? Sablan, do you have any? Wala na po. Pahinga po kayo. Kasi tapos na po ako sa budget ko. And since you don't have any question, why should I meet you in the OLC? Ang galing ni Miss Mendoza pagka yung wala ng klase, saka naririnig ang boses. Miss Pineda, do you have any question? Okay, nakatapos ako ng isang module. Next week, another module again, right? Remind me if I am meeting my target. So, pahinga po kayo bukas. Okay? Pahinga po kayo hanggang mamayang hapon, hanggang bukas. Pag nakagawa po ako ng problem or question, then I will give it as a worksheet. Sana sipagin ako. Or sana tamarin ako. Para next week, lecture lang po. Maliwanag? Miss Silvestre? Okay, you're dismissed. Ang ganda naman ng panala. You're dismissed and see you again next lecture. Thank you, guys. Sandali. Andali. So ngayon, muntik na akong mauhaw. Wala man lang tubig na, ano, ewan ko. Pwede bang padala niyo ako ng virtual water or criminal water or mineral or criminal? Wala man lang nagpapadala, no? Ano? Miss Rivera, Miss Matuling. Ano sasabihin ko? Pangalan mo? Ha? Sasabihin ko, sige, mamaya, Mr. Pineda, sinabi niya na, sasabihin ko, pakilista na lang daw kay Miss Christian Rivera. Pagdating mo, pagpasok ng face-to-face, ang dami mong utang, Miss Rivera. Yan ha, sinabi mo yan ha. Narinig mo yan, Miss Pineda ha. Okay? Okay guys, mayaman naman yan, kaya unang-una, so palilista ko ng pwede bang pineapple juice minsan? Once in a while, pineapple juice as water ha. Para healthy. O yan, Mr. Pineda, sinabi niya, basta ka sir, kumuha ka na lang doon, palista ko na lang kay Miss Rivera. Maliwanag? Okay. Guys, if you don't have any question, again, you're dismissed. And again, good day to all of you.